Welcome to the Predictive Playbook. I am your host, John Ryan, at John Ryan Sports 1, and I'm pleased to have really our residential NHL expert, pro bettor, and he's independent, which makes him even better in my opinion. Ira Silver, live with us in balmy Miami Beach, Florida, where I will be on Friday, but I'll be in the northern part of the state, visiting family. And then you said you played golf this morning, and I'm gonna be playing that golf course. They have some golf tournament there. It's, I think, the players only championship or something, or some guy named Pete Dye, Island Green. But seriously, it's a thrill to play that course.
Yeah.
And if any of you have not played it, you must put it on your bucket list immediately. But we're here to talk hockey, college hoops, maybe a little Augusta ahead of David Berman of ESPN's appearance tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I have some strong opinions. The majors are what I do well in. But first, let's talk about the championship game tonight. And I'll start you off with this. It seems like the tenor, and tell me if I'm wrong, the tenor of the media is that, and the betting community, is that, my goodness, Gonzaga was lucky to win against a horrible team. Therefore, you have to bet Baylor. And I'm just like losing my mind over this because the game I watched was nothing short of the best game in the history of the NCAA tournament, if not NCAA basketball, period. And how you could say Gonzaga played a bad game against a bad team when Gonzaga was shooting 60% from the field with 10 minutes to go, and we're still losing by 4. I don't get too ruffled very often, Ira, but I'm a little ruffled today about this whole thing, and it's kind of made me emotionally want to pull for Gonzaga tonight to do what's only a few teams in the history of basketball have ever done, and that's go undefeated. So how did you like the game?
So college basketball, as a disclaimer, if no one's watched me on the show before, is not necessarily my favorite sport, nor my best sport in betting, but I will tell you this. UCLA was fantastic. Cronin did a fantastic job of putting that team together, really playing like a team. And they kept up with the best team in the country. And that is not a slight and not a discount to what they're doing, what Gonzaga is doing. Well, the way I see it is UCLA was shooting lights out. Usink was amazing, as usual. This guy's going to be a star. Campbell was fantastic for UCLA as well in that game. He really stepped up to the spotlight. And I really think that this line opened 5.5. It's now down to 4.5. Now, if it gets any lower for me, I'm going to play Gonzaga. Baylor's tough on defense. Don't get me wrong. They have a lot of takeaways. They run fast breaks. They can shoot lights out with their perimeter guards. But for me, Gonzaga is the better team here. I might wait and not play it pre-flop and just bet it in game if Baylor takes the lead. But I like Gonzaga to win this game. And I think 4.5 for them, it should cover. I'd obviously rather 3.5, so I might wait. But I'd be comfortable playing Gonzaga -4 tonight if it gets down to that.
That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be looking for Gonzaga at 3.5. If not, I'll gobble up. I think this will probably settle at 4.5. But there is a chance that the public enthusiasm with this game is getting to the point of being irrational. There's just too many people, I think, thinking the wrong thing. And I'm not talking negative. I'm not talking I'm not bashing anybody. But the other theme that was running on Saturday afternoon, which was driving me nuts, because I really only had my dog Manny to talk to. Wow. About it, and he understands everything. He lets me vent, and it's a good thing. So
absolutely,
everybody was saying, all the talking heads, all the experts were saying that the only way that UCLA can win against Gonzaga is to play slow. Wow, and I just was like, and then on the Wager Talk show with Tony Finn and Rob Vino, I actually went with them with Gonzaga on Friday night, and then about an hour before game time, I tweeted on that show a retweet saying that, hey guys, sorry, I just got 14.5. This is all gut. This is not machine learning, and it's pizza money. I'm not putting several dimes on this game, so just pizza money, just letting you know, and really just to be transparent about it, because there's nothing worse than going on a show and somebody's saying, well, wait a minute, he said Gonzaga. So we try to be 100% honest with our picks, and when they lose, they lose. But that was just blowing my mind. I thought UCLA, the team, played such a great game that it took Gonzaga to another level higher, because it arguably could have been the best game that team has played in the last 3 years. And they took a bank three-pointer that was just a beautiful moment in basketball history, because you could see in the replay he knew it was going in, and then you may have heard too that he wanted to be like Dwayne Wade and jump up on the table like he did, and repeat his hero and his idol growing up. And that's exactly what he did, because as soon as he let it go, he started heading over to that table. And that was pretty cool. I mean, even if you had Baylor, I'm sorry, not Baylor, even if you had UCLA on the money line, granted, your heart's ripped out of your chest, but still, if you're going to lose potentially a big bet doing money line on UCLA, I mean, that's never a good way to lose. But I mean, that's something you can say, I accept that. That's how it went.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it shapes up tonight. I'll probably play like 10% of my bet pre-flop and then the rest in game. Hopefully Baylor takes the lead and I can come back with Gonzaga to win the game at plus money or something like that.
And that reminds me too, Ira, guys, girls in the chat room, if there are any, this is one game. This is a championship game, and our emotions get the best of us, like the Super Bowl, but it's one game. You should not bet more than you usually bet, because you think that this, and the other thing are going to happen. And even more importantly, like Ira said, 10% of his normal bet to do pre-flop, and then he's going to add, but he will not exceed 100% of his normal bet. So if you're a $100 bettor, that means that you do $10 pre-flop, and then you fill in as you go. And the last thing I'll say about the game, Ira, is that I'm going to try to do a middle in the total, because the scoring volatility is going to give you this chance in game. I think the game is going to start out pretty fast, much like the Creighton Gonzaga game did, and you'll be able to get like low 170s in game live line. If you get that, and they're averaging 7.2 or more points per game, and if you're new to me, I have these Python tools that do all these sorts of things, and they come up with these numbers that, when you look at them, it makes total sense, because you're taking an under against a wave of scoring that is unsustainable at the college level. And then on the over side, you want to look for 2.5 points per minute for 3 to 5 minutes. That's the parameters. And the 3 to 5 minutes is so that you have time to get your app out and hit it. After 5 minutes, it's probably going to be too late. But as soon as you see 3 minutes, that's when you should bang it. So I actually think in this game tonight, it could be a range from 175 to 145, plus or minus. And if it is, I think I'll end up being a pretty happy camper.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So now we can flip gears here, and I can say that as Ira claims not to be such a college basketball expert, I'm a 100% numbers guy in the NHL. When Ira talks about these goalies, I will admit, fundamentally, I am flawed at the NHL fundamental level. I still put out picks. They do well, but not quite as well as what Ira does, and that's why he's here, to give us all this great information and make me and all of you a better NHL bettor. So let's get right to it, Ira, with the NHL card here. It starts out with looking at wagertalk.com/odds. Starts out with rotation 39 and 40, Edmonton, Montreal. I'm seeing 57% of the tickets on the over, 94% of the money on the over. 50% of the tickets on Montreal, 72% of the money is on Edmonton. And I usually don't guess what you like in this game. You may don't like anybody, but I would think you're probably leaning Edmonton.
Yeah, I am leading Edmonton for sure, and it's going to be a tough game. Real quick, shout out to Tyler Moss in the chat. What's up, man? Thanks for joining. But yeah, no, Edmonton, excuse me, is going to be a play for me tonight. You got It looks like it's going to be Mike Smith going up against Carey Price. Mike Smith, 2.39 goals against, 92% save percentage, while Carey Price is having a very tough start to his season here, 2.70 goals against, but only a 90% save percentage. He hasn't played well in quite some time. You know, the Canadians got them the last time they came out last week, 4-0. So I look for a bounce back effort. I know, I think that I did see some sharp money on the Canadians earlier this morning, but I'm going the other way here. I'm going to play contrarian. I'm going to play against the sharp money here tonight, and I'm going to go with the Oilers plus 110. As far as the total, I'm going to back off that. I was leaning over, but it seems like the Tucker's bet in this game as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it when you do these breakdowns because then it adds more to my my numbers. Numbers are just numbers, but when you have some meaning behind them that can explain the outcome that is expected, which you think it will be Edmonton, then it makes all the sense of the world.
Yeah,
we're really trying to find value in the bets. So, I'm not trying to put words in Ira's mouth here, but I think he'll agree with me that we're trying to give you a set of bets today that have a good chance of making some money. We don't know how much money, and over the course of a week, we're trying to put together 5 days. All those picks having a very good chance of profiting. No guarantees, but Ira has a pretty darn good track record. But you still have to be disciplined. Just like I said in the championship game tonight. I've been at this 26 years, and I always fear on Super Bowl Sunday those people that are just going for it. And it's fun and it's exciting, but it's not so exciting when all of a sudden that savings account is drained and you're suddenly thinking about where the mortgage money's coming from. So. Do yourself a favor, and I'm not trying to preach to anybody. You can do what you want, but just try to do the smart thing.
Yeah, I mean, I went 4-0 last night in hockey. I had the Capitals to win. I had the Panthers to win, Hurricanes to win, and the Maple Leafs to win. I then sprinkled the last 3 games into a moneyline parlay tied to the Angels and the over in the Angels game. So I hit a nice little 6-teamer last night to end the weekend. So hockey definitely been good to me. Hopefully, knock on wood, I'm not jinxing it, and hopefully we continue the good run here. I think when I first looked at this, I thought the Edmonton Oilers were going to be a slight favorite, minus 115 or so. So when I'm getting plus 110 here with the Oilers, I'm definitely taking it all day. Now, again, like John said, it may not win, but the value is there on the Oilers.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's move on to your next game.
Yeah, next game I want to talk about, we got the Vegas Golden Knights, short road favorite, taking on the St. Louis Blues. You're going to have, it looks like, Robin Lehner in goal versus Ville Husso. For the Blues, he's confirmed. He has a 3.28 goals against with a less than 90% save percentage. Oof. And Robin Lehner, as everyone knows, if you listen to me on the show before, I love this guy. He's my favorite goalie in the National Hockey League. He has a 2.29 goals against with a 91% save percentage, and that should be a little bit higher, but he is still fantastic coming back from an injury, and he looks great doing so. I will be playing the suckers bet probably, but I'm still going to play nonetheless, and that's going to be the Vegas Golden Knights minus 140 against the St. Louis Blues tonight.
I have a betting system for you here.
Okay.
We should actually have once we get this video and audio, the professional level stuff that I have it'll be installed in the next week or two. Basically setting up for football, but we have several months to have fun with it. We'll have to have a jingle, when we have the betting system of the day, or
like that.
Yeah, and, Ira's upset alert, all that kind of neat stuff. Because sometimes, I know you guys are you might be multitasking. You have it on in the background. You may not be watching us, and then if you have that jingle, it might be, oh yeah, I gotta listen to this part. But anyway, this system here, 71% winners the last 25 seasons. Vegas Golden Knights play on favorites of minus 200, no more than minus 200. So minus 200 or lower. After scoring 2 goals or fewer in 2 consecutive games, facing an opponent after scoring 2 goals in 4 straight games. So you have a team like Vegas that is, when you get up to minus 200, that's a heavy favorite. A lot of these games are in the minus 150 range, and they've gone scoring 2 goals or less in 2 straight games.
3 straight games.
Yep, the system is 2 or more.
Okay.
Right, so that adds, to your point, that adds even more power to this system.
Yep.
And Vegas is a good team, certainly above average, and they're facing an opponent that is struggling, and they scored 2 goals or fewer in four consecutive games, and that would be St. Louis. And I did play St. Louis the other night, and they lost. They were, I forget what they were. They were like plus 190.
Yeah, plus 185, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and that, when you play those dogs, I love them in baseball because I get 2 dogs in that 170 range, and I'll money line parlay them. And they don't always win, but when they do, it's big. I mean, it's like you could lose 12 games in a row to offset that win. So I like this play here on Vegas. I'm going to jot it down. Edmonton, and we have the Knights. Any others?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up for you right now. Give me 1 second here. So I played the Maple Leafs last night, and it didn't start too well, but they came back in the 3rd period and won the game against the Calgary Flames. And hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the well here. Man, I wish there was a 6 there. I would have played under 6. Jack Campbell starting in goal for the Maple Leafs. As everyone knows, he's probably my 2nd favorite goalie in the league. He has started this season 8 times. He is 8-0 with 1.35 goals against with a 95% save percentage, and he is 7-1 to the unders in all of his starts. But 5.5, I'm going to lay off of because Calgary can definitely give up some goals pretty quickly, and in a very, very big fashion as well. Markstrom, as everyone knows, if you listened to me before as well, not my favorite goalie. Almost 3 goals against with a 90% save percentage. I think his numbers reflect better than what he actually is. I'm going to go again to the well tonight. I'm going to play the Maple Leafs. And I wanted to play the Flames the other day and buy low, but not against the Maple Leafs. I'm going to go back to the well with the Maple Leafs. Minus 150 here with the Maple Leafs against the Calgary Flames. So two kind of short-ish favorites I'm playing and 1 dog tonight.
If you bet over 6 in the Calgary-Toronto game and get like minus 105 instead of over 5.5 minus 125 is basically what I'm seeing at the large majority of the books here in Vegas. Would you do it? In other words, paying the less vig to go 6.
I would lean under. I was hoping to get a 6 and go under the total.
Oh, go under. Okay.
But 5.5, I'm not touching. I will say this. Let's see with Calgary. I may play under 2.5 total goals for Calgary team total as well at minus 110.
All right. So we're on for this game. We're on Calgary.
No, we're on Toronto minus 150 and Calgary team total under 2.5.
Calgary team total under 2.5.
Minus 110. And Toronto Maple Leafs to win the game minus 150.
Got it.
So four NHL players. There you go.
Awesome. Very good. I do have an NBA system play I can bring up here. It might take me a second. It's actually pretty simple. I don't have to show you the chart. It's hit 73% winners over the last 5 years. And simply said, you're going to bet on a home favorite, as being the Toronto Raptors, who are coming off a game where they played well defensively, allowed 35% shooting or less. And that is the system. Pretty simple, straight to the point, 73% winners, and it's on Toronto. I like the contrarian feel of this. They're playing Washington. Toronto is in last place in the I guess it's the Atlantic Division. They changed the names. I don't keep up with that because I don't put those necessarily in my systems. It's all about division or conference play.
Toronto minus 5 tonight.
Yeah, and it actually this matchup in non-divisional matchups, which this is, it soars up to 78% winners, and something like 29-9 over the last 5 seasons. So it's a pretty powerful one. The last one I put out on the Wager Talk NBA show was the Lakers on Friday, and everybody thought I was nuts. Lakers +4 against the Kings, and I tried to explain that the fact of the system is that it's even stronger when you don't have AD and LeBron playing, because the one parameter was a win percentage over 60%. And if LeBron or AD were playing in that game, they would not be underdogs. And that was another parameter. So it's taking advantage of when the players are out on very good teams. And, the betting community, the marketplace will overreact when studs are out. They've done it with the Sixers, with Embiid being out. They're now 7-4. They're 8-4 with Embiid out during this run. And they've covered a large number of them. They obviously didn't cover last night against Memphis, and that was kind of a clunker. But Memphis had, the big man to take care of scoring a lot of points. So that's my play of the day here for the shows, being on the Toronto Raptors.
And great. I like it. I'm going to try to see if I can get on board with that one, even though the Wizards kind of hold dear to my heart this season. So I may not play it, but I like it nonetheless with the thought process there. Just going back to the Calgary Flames under the team total, Calgary Flames under 2.5 team total, -110. I just want to point out, you're going up against Jack Campbell, who has gone 7-1 to the under in his 8-0 start to this season. And not only that, Calgary has scored 2 or fewer goals. Sorry, they've scored 2 or more goals, 1 in their last 8 games. One time in the last 8 games has Calgary scored over 2 goals. So I will definitely the under the team total of under 2.5 for Calgary tonight, 100%.
Wow!
Lock that in right now, actually.
Yeah, that's truly struggling.
One time in 8 games have they scored over 2 goals. So give me all the and you're facing Jack Campbell instead. Give me all the under money on that team total for Calgary that you can. John, any baseball plays?
Yeah. I'm just finishing one little chat message to one of our chat people here. And baseball has gone off to a good start.
While you're doing that, just if you see on the bottom, John Ryan's MLB regular season in NBA through the playoffs for just $149, a savings of over $450. DM John on Twitter and use the promo code Manny2021. John is the man, the myth, the legend. He's fantastic with systems. Again, not all of it. It's got to be a big sample size, right? You're not going to win some days, a couple days in a row, you can lose. But over the course of time, you're going to build a portfolio, and you're going to build these wins against losses, and hopefully more wins and losses, as John's been doing this a long time, and he's one of the stand-up guys in the industry. So definitely take advantage of that. Appreciate
the kind words. As we know, I'm a terrible salesman. I like talking about content, but sometimes I think it's like a jinx. Like if I say, I'm 8-1, or like I did with the Oral Roberts money line bet with 120 to go. I mean, that was a kiss of death. The betting guys got pissed, and I had 0-3 Sunday as a result of bragging about myself.
Right.
But baseball is off to a pretty good start here. The only game I lost was one that I actually didn't follow the machine learning guidelines that I get from the applications I've coded, and I couldn't help myself. And I played the Dodgers on opening day against the Rockies, thinking that Kershaw could pitch on 2 knees and they'd still win, and I was wrong. But that's the only play that I have lost. I had Cincinnati yesterday, which I really liked, especially when I saw the betting public was all over St. Louis. The Phillies are off to a 3-0 start. Houston, 3-0 start. So even though it's early in the season, there is opportunities out there. The game yesterday was on the Phillies. That was simply because they had won the first 2 games of the 3-game series against a divisional foe, and they were home. And these things repeat. And as Ira says, and I say time and time again, sometimes these plays will lose 10-0, 10-3, 12-3. It doesn't matter. They'll just lose. But over time, and 26 years of track record, I know that by the end of the season, I have a really high probability of having more money than when I started.
Yep.
So I just promoted myself.
There you go.
It almost felt all right a little bit there.
So what do we have tonight in baseball?
Tonight in baseball, we have actually an interesting situation in Philly because the Mets series, opening series in Shea, got canceled. And now DeGrom, who I think everybody knows, is pitching tonight in Philadelphia. And the Philly starter is Matt Moore. He's a lefty. He was not on the team last year. And, I mean, it's a tough spot for Philly. But the value is in Philly. Plus 180. They're only 3-0. They're not going to go 162-0. But in those 3-game sample, I liked what I saw. I liked the spark. It's like a Girardi Yankee team now. You can see what he brings as a manager to any team that he's ever managed. And I think the Phillies, are also a futures bet for that division. I forget exactly what I got, but I think it's like 17-1 to win the division. And they're not going to beat Atlanta. They're not going to sweep Atlanta maybe the rest of the year. Atlanta's going to be a very good team. They got Ian Anderson's been a little inconsistent for them early on here. Second-year guy, but very, very talented pitcher. So the Braves will be just fine. But I think Philly here is the real sleeper in the division. So I would recommend a bet at plus 180 or higher on Philly to upset Jacob deGrom and the Mets.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's really the only one I really see standing out. I have the premium picks too. That's why we're doing the promotion. And I'd rather have 20 people sign up than just 2, and that's why I've reduced the price.
Right.
It's much better. You have more people watching the shows. We have better collaboration. And it's all very good. And with that said, I really appreciate everybody that's watching these shows, especially the archived numbers have been really, really good. We're not even at 2 months going into this. And just really psyched, and I know you are too. And really appreciate everybody that's taking the time to listen to us, because there's a ton of shows out there you could be listening to. So we got to make sure that we're bringing the value and the education and some of our experiences so that you look forward to it every day. And that's my goal, is to make you leave this show thinking that, man, I want to see this tomorrow. And we do have, speaking of tomorrow, we have David Behrman of ESPN coming on for PGA, 1 o'clock Eastern. The guy is ridiculously good at PGA. And you can watch the shows that he's done and go and track yourself the track record that he's put together with just straight up bets, head to head. He'll retweet the show and put new bets up there for the weekend. And if you don't play golf, I understand you never heard of the Masters, but this is a big time event. And it's got a lot of exciting storylines. Jordan Spieth won for the first time in 3 years yesterday, which was great to see. Justin Thomas, while Spieth was winning, Justin Thomas was at Augusta practicing, and apparently it was a very serious practice. And that's your number one guy in the world right now. Dustin Johnson, of course, was there yesterday. Morikawa was there yesterday. So these are the little things I track, because guys that show up on Sunday usually are playing the following Sunday at the Masters. And for those that don't know what that means they made the cut and they're doing well. But to pick a winner right now, I don't know yet. I'll do that on Wednesday. But as you'll see, you can bet top 5, top 10, top 20. And the top 20 bets may not give you the big payday, but over time, it's a lot easier to predict like a Morikawa finishing in the top 20 than it is him finishing in the top 5. So, stuff like that. I'm just excited as you came and believe. And, it's starting to feel normal. Like, this COVID thing is slowly getting behind us. And, we're going to have, I think by football season, we're going to have full stadiums. And maybe that's wishful thinking, but I really think this vaccine thing will get done.
Yeah.
Some kind of passport. So yeah, I just went in and out for some reason. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I hope so. That'd be fantastic for everybody.
Yeah, it is. And I know I'm rambling, but I do that sometimes. So any final thoughts here, Ira, about any of the games you mentioned, or tonight's game, or?
No, the only other game I played already started. I bet the Twins and the over, and both of them look like they're going to win. Twins are up 11-1 in the top of the sixth. So starting off the day good, starting off the week good. So hopefully we can continue tonight.
That sounds good, man. Yep. And I can be found over at sportsmemo.com and predictiveplaybook.com, which I have set up. It's actually an affiliate site with some outstanding handicappers in their own right. From Rocky Anderson, my good buddy over at winningcappers.net. He does a phenomenal job over there as well. So you can actually get the picks there too. But I prefer you get them directly from me. It's more fun. I get to know people, and be able to teach a whole lot better than just sending out emails to names. I don't even know who they are, and that's something I'm trying to overcome with these shows. But anyway, enough of my voice. Ira, thank you as always for being on the show, and Ira will be on tomorrow at tentatively scheduled at 3. We keep this pretty liquid, I guess is the word, right? We keep it flexible because. Things come up in our schedules that we're not a TV station just yet, but around 3ish you'll see on the Twitter what time we'll be coming on the air, and he'll have more outstanding NHL picks, and you can look forward to that pretty much 5 days a week at 3ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for Ira Silver, myself, and the Predictive Playbook, may all the wins be yours.